Today we're going to learn about the radius and diameter of circles. Say for instance I have a circle here. The diameter is the distance all the way across from one side of the circle to the other. Diameter. The radius, act like that's a real circle, is the distance halfway across. Radius. Depending on what you're looking for, will tell you what you're actually going to use. If I am trying to find the diameter, I take my radius, I'm just going to put an R for radius, and I multiply it by 2. If I'm trying to find my radius, sorry if you hear my stomach growling, but I'm hungry. I take my diameter and I divide it by 2. So in this case, they want to know what is the radius. So I use my equation here for radius. I take my diameter and I divide it by 2. Here, they told me that my diameter, which is all the way across the circle, is 16. If it's 16 to go all the way across a circle, and I want to go halfway across a circle, I would be left with 8. Half of 16 is 8. If I do 16 divided by 2, I end up with 8. Same thing here. Remember, if we take our radius, the radius is halfway across the circle, the diameter is all the way across. So here, they give us the radius, the little piece, and they say it's 3. If this half of it is 3, then the other half has to be 3 too, right? 3 plus 3, of course, that's 6. Remember we said we take the radius and we multiply it by 2, and that gets us our diameter? Radius was 3 times 2 gives us 6. Our diameter is 6. Whoa, not 65. Wait a minute here. On this one, they want to know the radius and the diameter. Remember I told you that the diameter is the distance across the whole circle. They give us the diameter here. Across the whole circle, they tell us that it is 18. If the whole thing is 18, and I want to know half of it, which is the radius, I take 18 and I divide it by 2, which gets me 9. So my radius is 9. Over here, they give me halfway across the circle. If you only have half of it, that's called the radius. So I already know my radius is 11. If this part is 11 halfway across, this other part has to be 11 too. I know that 11 plus 11 will give me 22. Or you can multiply 11 times 2, and you'll still end up with 22 for your diameter. On this one, they give me the diameter. If I have my diameter, I have to divide it by 2 to get my radius. So if my diameter is 6, that's all the way across the circle. I need halfway across the circle. So I need to divide the diameter into 2 pieces, and I end up with 3 for my radius. This one, they give me the radius. Remember that radius is just halfway across? If this little piece is 5, and this little piece is 5, I add them together, I end up with 10. Or you could have multiplied my radius times 2 to get me my diameter. My radius was 5. 5 times 2 is 10, which is my diameter. And on this one, they give me the whole circle. They tell me that the distance across the circle from one side or the other is 13. That's my diameter. The radius starts right at the middle and goes to one side. So I have to figure out what 13 divided by 2 is to get the radius. I know that 2 can go into 13 6 times, if I can write my 6, because 6 times 2 is 12. 13 minus 12 gives me 1. So I'm going to put decimal, decimal, 0, and bring it down. I know that 2 can go into 10 5 times, because 2 times 5 is 10, and 10 minus 10 is 0. So I now know that my radius is 6.5. Make sure I type the right thing in here. And we're finished.